What's up everyone, welcome to part 5 of the rewrite. Quick side note here, this video is not going to be edited that much. This is essentially going to be an audio only version, and it's exclusive to members right now. Normally I would edit a full video from this, but it takes a lot of time and money to get art for this story. So right now I don't have a true part 5 ready, but as a thanks for being channel members, you guys are going to get this audio only version of part 5. Hopefully soon I'll have a fully edited video of this, but for the time being, enjoy this form of it. Following the events of the last part, Piccolo has some questions for Whis about Namek. After everything that just occurred, it leaves him wondering. Seeing the threat of Janemba made him feel helpless first of all, and apparently, Goku and Vegeta fought some parasite in Universe 6. And of course, he sees how powerful they've grown too. They've grown so strong that they don't even use Super Saiyan forms anymore. It doesn't even seem like they can. And seeing that new blue form that Vegeta has, it makes Piccolo realize this universe is terrifyingly strong, and he's far behind. Thankfully, Gohan is continuously pushing his potential, but Piccolo wonders what could be done for him personally. Now, maybe Elder Kai can unlock his potential like he did for Gohan, but Piccolo's curious about what his limits really are, and if there's anything else he could do. So that's why he's turning to Whis, wondering if he has any sort of info. Well, Whis says his best bet would be going back to Namek. Maybe they'd have some great info for him. And if he'd like, he could take Piccolo to Beerus' planet. He's not sure if Beerus would be up for it, but Whis wouldn't mind another student, especially with Piccolo's mindset and everything. Whis thinks that Piccolo would be a perfect student for him, but it's really up to Lord Beerus. And once Beerus hears about this, he's actually kind of against it. He appreciates that Piccolo wants to grow stronger, but he thinks he's too far behind right now. Although he does note something pretty interesting. It seems that Piccolo has trace amounts of godly ki. He is part Kami after all. It's separate from the type Goku and Vegeta have, and it's way less potent. But it is there, and Beerus wonders, maybe more of it could be drawn up. Beerus says if he could find some sort of way to unlock that, he'll let Piccolo train on his planet. In all honesty, he thinks that Piccolo might hold Goku and Vegeta back because they'll have to catch him up. He doesn't doubt that Piccolo can do it, but he doesn't want him to impede on their training. Just to try and help out, Goku actually goes up to Piccolo. He's going to try to channel some of his own ki into Piccolo to see if that can unlock some more godly powers. He gives Piccolo some energy, and most of it leaks out, but surprisingly, Piccolo does retain some of the godly ki. Goku could sense it flare up within him. He definitely has the potential, but his body needs more training for it. And obviously, they don't know how godly ki works with the Namekians or how they can obtain it, which is why he's going to go to Namek first. Piccolo even discusses this with Dende, but Dende has no clue of what to do. But he does mention that Piccolo could try the Namekian Book of Legends. Obviously, they've known about this from before, and maybe that'll have something interesting for Piccolo. That's true, he didn't even really think of that. Revisiting that book could be really helpful. Piccolo prepares to leave for Namek, and he wants to see if Goku's around too. Maybe he'd like to come along. But when he gets to Goku's house, he can see that he's not there. But surprisingly, Gohan is. Visiting his family, of course. And when he hears that Piccolo's about to leave for Namek, Gohan says that he'd like to come along too. It could be pretty interesting. He doesn't expect it'll be a long trip, but it could be a fun one. And Piccolo says he's fine with that, but the issue is, they have no way of getting there. Sure, they could use one of the old spaceships, but that's going to take a while. He came here because he wanted Goku to teleport him there. But Goku's already long gone and is on Beerus' planet again. Gohan says it's not an issue. They could just ask Buu if anything. He could teleport too. As far as Gohan knows, he remembers at one point Goku told him that Kid Buu was able to copy instant transmission really easily, so maybe this Buu can too. Well, looks like they don't really have another choice. They go to Mr. Saiyan. He tells them to make sure Buu acts good. And they will, but they gotta see if Buu's even capable of this first. So Piccolo asks Buu, does he know how to use the Kai or instant transmission at all? And Buu thinks for a second. He remembers the Kais being able to use that and Goku being able to teleport too. And he sits there pondering for a while, even just sitting on the ground. And then, his face lights up. He remembers how to do it. He grabs onto Gohan and Piccolo, and they teleport, but they arrive on the lookout. This was just a test and it seemed like it worked. And Dende's excited to see this too. You know what? He actually might want to come along too. It could be nice to see Namek again. He hasn't been in so long. Also, he tries to direct Buu in the direction of the planet. Buu focuses for a bit, and then they teleport to Namek using the Kai. That's amazing that Buu could do that. And Piccolo says hopefully this shouldn't take too long. He just wants to see the Namekian Book of Legend and see if there's any ways for him to grow stronger. Could he potentially grow as strong as the fabled creator of the Super Dragon Balls too? That's the main reason he wanted to come here. After seeing how strong they were, he wondered how strong a Namekian would have to be to even create them, and who that Namekian is, if he even exists around here. Surely he has to exist somewhere, because if those Super Dragon Balls are active, maybe that Namekian is active too. Otherwise those Dragon Balls wouldn't have been around, and Piccolo wonders if he can grow to a level like that. But there's only one way to find out. They're able to meet up with Mori again, who's glad to see them. Happy to reunite with Dende, glad to see Piccolo again, and greeting Gohan too, remembering seeing him as a kid here. They've all changed a lot, and he did see Dende not too long ago during the Buu saga, but it's always nice to have him return here, and he's more than glad to help them find the Book of Legends. It's the same one that told them about the Saiyan God form, and they tell Mori everything about what happened on Earth, so he guides them to where they keep the book. And he does note something interesting too. He knows that Piccolo wants to grow stronger, and he says that Piccolo's a pretty unique being. He's a warrior Namekian, but also being part Kami, that makes him an interesting fusion of two different types of Namekians. Even though they were originally split from one Namekian, it seems that the Demon King Piccolo and Kami were two different types, which really fascinates Mori to learn about and theorize about. He wonders what type of path Piccolo could go down. They head towards Namek's archives. But as they head over, Buu says he feels something strange. The others don't sense everything, but soon after, Piccolo and Gohan can feel it too. Now, it's not like an ominous presence of ki, it's something different. There's some sort of disturbance, and Buu tries to focus on it. He can't really tell what it is, but he could actually sense it better than them. He says it almost feels like time and space are being warped somehow, and then everyone else feels something. They feel an actual presence of ki, and it's a very ominous ki. A malicious glow fills the planet, and a portal opens up in the sky. Two hands stretch the portal out, as someone then floats down through it, and the guy looks almost exactly like Frieza. He looks around, happy. It's Frost from Universe 6. He thought Namek might exist in this universe, and it seems like it did. He assumed that Namek in Universe 6 might have been under high alert, especially after everything that recently happened there. And there's also a Sadalan army presence there too. They would definitely be able to stop him. But he wants Dragon Balls now. He could have also waited for the Super Dragon Balls to return, but that's going to take a while. So, this is his next best bet, traveling to another universe's Namek. And thankfully, that's not really too hard for him. Thanks to his strongest subordinate hit, a dimensional warping assassin, one who could alter space and time, making a portal right to this planet. But immediately as they land, Hit tells Frost that he can sense some enemies nearby. Thinking at first that it might be the locals, but they see 3 Namekians with some pink guy, and one who appears to be a Saiyan maybe. Obviously Piccolo, Gohan, and Buu are immediately ready to fight. They tell Dende and Mori to hide, and they're about to go in and attack Frost, but then they notice the guy standing next to him disappear. Like, he doesn't teleport away, it's just he dematerializes right in front of them. A portal basically opens up at his feet and swallows him whole. Gohan hears a gruesome sound right next to him. Turning over to see Piccolo with a hole in his chest. A hand is reaching through it, but there's no one behind him. A hand then appears out of nowhere to attack Gohan too. The hand that attacked Piccolo then retracts and stabs right through Buu, although it obviously does nothing because he could regenerate. Piccolo falls to the ground and tries to regenerate his wound, but it was a hit right on his vitals. Gohan was barely able to dodge in time. That guy disappeared and his limbs were just appearing out of nowhere. That same portal that he disappeared through. He's able to use that to attack, while keeping himself unexposed. A hand then stretches out again to grab Buu this time, but Buu puts on a serious face, grabbing onto the hand and then jumping through the portal, spaghettifying himself so he could fit through there. Gohan looks confused as Buu disappears, and a portal appears above him again, with Buu and Hit falling through it. Buu tells Hit he's not the only one who could do that, and Buu's surprised to see someone like this, wondering if he's some sort of magic user maybe. Gohan then goes in to attack Frost again, but Hit's able to stop him, and Frost watches on content. Hit will handle these guys as he goes off to get the Dragon Balls for himself. Piccolo's lying on the ground trying to heal, and a piece of Buu crawls over to him, attaching itself to Piccolo, then completely restoring him. Whoever that assassin guy is, he clearly has some really strong abilities. He's fighting both Gohan and Buu at once now. Buu wraps himself around Hit trying to hold him still. Gohan powers up to his maximum, launching a Kamehameha, and just as the blast is about to make contact, it basically hits nothing. It appears behind Gohan and then hits him. Hit quickly was able to open up a portal in front of him, redirecting the blast back at Gohan. Gohan's barely able to guard against it, and then the wind is knocked out of him. He feels pain from behind, but it's not from ki blasts. Hit launched blasts of compressed air towards him. Even though he's being held down by Buu right now, one of his arms was able to escape through one of the portals. Gohan turns over to Piccolo and tells him to go get that other guy. They'll handle Hit for now. Gohan says this won't be too bad now that he's used to it. Buu's here to help him, and he fought against Janemba like this too. He just needed a little bit of a warm-up. Hit tries attacking again with portals, but Gohan's able to counter it this time. Now that he sees how this guy works, this isn't anything new to him. A portal appears behind him with Hit's hand launching through it, and Gohan simply dodges it, then kicking his leg up in the air. It looks like he's attacking nothing, but a portal appears in front of it with Hit's hand reaching through, and Gohan lands a direct kick on his arm, actually dealing some damage. This guy's moves are pretty predictable for Gohan. Piccolo chases down Frost, and Frost actually doesn't even really know where to start. He knows how to find Dragon Balls because Namek exists in Universe 6 too, but it looks like this planet is laid out a bit differently. He stretches his arm out and grabs Frost, telling him to not go any further. Frost turns around completely unbothered. He says Piccolo should just let this happen. Does he really want to die today? And just like Piccolo thought, this guy seems no different from Frieza. But Piccolo tells Frost he doesn't know who he's dealing with. He doesn't know who he is or where he's from, but he has a few theories. He can assume that this guy's from Universe 6, isn't he? Did he not just witness the 2 Saiyan gods that came there? And yes, he did, but he knows he doesn't have to worry about them right now. This is the perfect time to strike, the only time to strike, and he's gonna get some Dragon Balls here. Who knows what he'll wish for though? More power? Immortality? Something that makes him strong enough to be unbeatable. And Piccolo warns Frost. They fought someone exactly like him before, and they took him down. Twice actually. Piccolo and Frost start fighting. But Piccolo can clearly see that Frost is way stronger than Frieza was. His first form's not too hard to fight, but Frost then immediately transforms into his final form. He doesn't even go to the other two. Piccolo's not even sure if he has them. Piccolo's a bit worried at first seeing Frost's final form, but it actually doesn't seem that bad. Sure, this is going to be a tough challenge for him, but once Gohan and Boo are done, they'll be able to defeat Frost really easily. So he holds Frost off for now. Back at the fight between Gohan, Boo, and Hit, Gohan and Boo are seemingly able to win. Although they don't defeat or kill Hit. He just retreats. They don't know if he's gone in over his head or if he's planning something else, but they're going to keep an eye out. He just disappears through one of his portals, and it seems like he's not attacking again. So they go over to where Piccolo and Frost are. Frost is holding his own against Piccolo pretty easily. Piccolo's glad to see his allies here too. Now Frost stands no chance. Sure, they might think that. So Piccolo said he fought someone like Frost before, right? That is pretty impressive. So they should know about his next form too. He didn't want to use it here and he's mad that he has to get his hands dirty. That's what Hit was for after all. But it seems like the warriors in this universe are stronger than he thought. Now, he would have used this against the Saiyans in his own universe, but this form still might not be enough to contend with all of them at once. But these three, it should be more than enough. What does he mean? He has another form? The ground cracks beneath Frost, but it doesn't move at all. The air around him, it gets colder. The ground wasn't cracking from him powering up, it cracked because it froze. It's almost like the air starting to crystallize around them. Gohan's even having kind of a hard time breathing. But Boo then sticks each of his hands out, with a weird barrier generating around Piccolo and Gohan. Using magic, he basically gave them their own atmosphere. He doesn't know what's going on, but it doesn't seem like it's good. Frost looks at them with a chilling grin. This power was born in the vacuum of space, within the cold depths of Universe 6. This is the chilling true power of Frost, his full power. A black and blue sheen surround his body. He's glossy, almost like ice itself. Originally he called this his frostbite form, but Hit also suggested another name, his black ice form. Quick side note too, if you want to know how long I've been working on this part, I swear I actually came up with the idea for this form before Black Frieza was even revealed in manga. That's how old this is. And shows you how long I've been procrastinating, essentially. Gohan can't believe it. This guy, he isn't like Frieza at all. Frost explains. With the strong people in the multiverse, he couldn't simply sit around and grow weak. He especially couldn't have a henchman like Hit who was actually stronger than him. Did they think that when they defeated Hit, he would have been easier to fight? No, not at all. Through training and molding himself, Frost unlocked this latent power, and is now stronger than anyone here. Frost's eyes turn at Piccolo, and a beam of light comes out of them. Piccolo tries to move, but he just becomes motionless, frozen in place. He tries to move his arm, but it cracks. It falls apart like ice. What the hell is this? It feels like he's been frozen. He tells Gohan and Boo, don't let that attack hit them. Frost vanishes from sight, and then appears behind Piccolo. Very astute observation. While they might be able to avoid it, it seems it's a bit too late for Piccolo. He lands a single punch on Piccolo, and Piccolo's body cracks apart to multiple pieces. He's still alive, but just barely. He falls to the ground, breaking like ice. It's just like DeBoer's spit almost, except seemingly much worse, and harder to dodge too. But Piccolo weakly tells Gohan and Boo, they've got this. Leave him behind. Feeling an immense burst of rage, Gohan quickly powers up, and without even thinking, launches right at Frost, driving him across the surface of the planet. Now Frost is completely unfazed, but he lets them move this fight somewhere else, and Boo follows along. As Piccolo lays there on the ground, he sees two people heading over towards him. It's Mori and Dende. He tells them to get out of there, it's too dangerous. But no, they have a good idea, a way for them to win. They could sense a battle going on the other side of the planet. Gohan and Boo are clearly losing. But Dende tells Piccolo he has a really good idea. Remember how Guru unlocked their potential a while ago? Well, maybe Mori could do the same thing to them. Mori actually does know how to do this, but he's never really done it before. Although hopefully since he's a lot younger than Guru was, this should be really beneficial for Piccolo. And now that he thinks about it, Dende might even be able to do it too. Although he may be far too new at this. But they did realize one thing. Mori tried this on Dende first, and it actually worked, making Dende a bit stronger, but most importantly, it drew out some more latent abilities that he had, including this ability too. If they work together, maybe they could draw out that godly key from Piccolo. Maybe they can give him more than enough power to actually win here. So the two of them stand over Piccolo. Once he's healed, they start to draw out his potential, but this could take a bit. Normally it should be pretty much instant, but this might take a few minutes for them, not just because they're new at it, but also they could sense so much power in there. And Mori notes something strange as he's doing this. The power he's feeling in Piccolo doesn't feel normal. There's something insane that's dormant within him. The godly key within Piccolo surges. They can't believe what they're feeling. Meanwhile, on the other side of the planet, Gohan and Boo desperately try to fight Frost, but nothing's working against him. They're basically just buying time right now. Boo does have one idea, but before they could even use it, he senses something strange in the distance. Frost and Gohan then notice it too, not sensing it, but they could see a pillar of ki over the horizon of the planet. Frost wonders what this is, but he isn't too concerned. He doesn't even sense anything over there. It must be some sort of light show. But that coldness that they were feeling before, it goes away. The temperature feels normal again, and a trail of light appears in front of them, ending right at Frost as he receives a punch right to his gut. Standing there is someone that they don't recognize, a giant bulking figure. He has almost a sort of dragon-like appearance. His skin is orange, his eyes are red, but it's more than just that. It looks like he has a dragon's tail coming from him. He has scales on his skin, and after looking for a bit, they realize This is Piccolo that they're looking at. Why does he look so different? With 2 Namekian Guardians drawing out his potential at one time, plus, thanks to that godly key that Goku lent him beforehand, it created the right mix of conditions for this, and Piccolo doesn't even know what happened either. It's a godly awakening of a Dragon Clan Namekian and a Warrior Namekian combined. He tells Gohan and Buu that he has it from here, and Frost wonders what he's looking at. He can't even sense his power. Is that the same Namekian that he just killed beforehand? And Piccolo says no, he didn't kill him. But yes, he's the same Namekian. Piccolo proclaims that he'll be the one to defeat Frost. He watched this planet fall under threat to a similar tyrant beforehand, and he won't let it happen again. Just like he told Frost, they fought this guy once, they could do it again. This is Piccolo's newest awakening, his divine dragon form. The two of them start brawling, and Piccolo actually has an advantage in terms of power. They're actually contending with each other. Gohan and Buu think they could take a breather, but Buu then feels that weird presence again, realizing that Hit's about to appear. They did have that backup plan that they were about to use against Frost, and they didn't because now Piccolo saved them. But they probably could still use it here. And Gohan turns to Buu. He says it's time to break that out, especially if Hit's gonna return. They need to make sure he's killed for good. Buu still isn't too sure if he could do it, but Gohan knows he can. He knows very well, in fact, and he's seen it before. Hit appears out of a portal, ready to attack Buu. But he sees something strange. Buu seems to expand at first, almost like he's wrapping himself around something. His power then rises dramatically and he starts glowing. And he takes on a somewhat different appearance. He stands there trying to loosen up his arms and crack his neck. And he's talking to himself. He says that Gohan was right after all. He completely forgot about this, but now he remembers the feeling, although it's weird having the Kid Buu part separated out of him. Buu turns back at Hit, ready to fight once more, but he looks very different. Buu cracks his knuckles and says it's nice to be back like this, even if it is only temporary. In order to win the battle against Hit, Buuhan was recreated, making his triumphant return. Meanwhile, Piccolo continues battling Frost, and they can see portals appearing everywhere around them as Buu and Hit fight, hopping through dimensions and warping space, almost like Janemba. And Piccolo tells Frost to take a good look. Is this why he came to this universe? Did he underestimate them and think that he would have won here? Sure, he might not be on Goku and Vegeta's level, but now with this brand new power he's been granted, this is exactly what he came here for. And he thanks Mori and Dende. They didn't just run and hide and cower in fear. They retreated, got info, tried to figure out their next moves, and now he realizes, that entire time, they didn't just come up with a plan. They probably looked at the Namekian Book of Legends and figured out a way to awaken Piccolo. Although this awakening, it's completely unexpected for everyone. Piccolo then stretches both of his arms out, and with all of his power, he makes them grow in size, and then slams them together, crushing Frost between them, briefly stunning him for a bit. This is the last time Namek will be in harm's way. He quickly retracts his arms back, and then puts them together, charging a ball of light between them. Almost like his light grenade from before, but much different. An upgraded version of it essentially. Piccolo shouts, Quasar Grenade. Within an instant, a beam of light darts throughout the entire universe, directly hitting Frost, completely incinerating him too. The attack is fast, precise, and deadly, illuminating Namek and the entire galaxy with a brilliant glow. Steam flows off of Piccolo's body as he powers down. The rest of the ice around them melts. He then sees a portal open in the sky, with a Masenko flying through it. Hits at the end of the Masenko, but not for too long. He is also destroyed as Buu pops out of the portal, waving at Piccolo. What happened with him? Did he absorb Gohan again? But now being kind of terrified of Piccolo, Buu's not going to take his chances. He was going to release Gohan regardless, but he makes haste with it, immediately separating Gohan out of his body as Buu and Gohan return to normal. They've won here. Namek is safe, the threat that they faced was destroyed, and Piccolo got what he wanted. Now it's time for him to see what Beerus thinks. This is where we end off for now. What do you guys think about this part? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hopefully the next part doesn't take too long to make. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.